Alaska. It's every outdoorsman's dream adventure, and I was very fortunate to be able to go on one. Uh, I can remember being a child going to Cabela's for the very first time in Pennsylvania and seeing a gigantic caribou on the wall with my dad and telling him, "That's my dream. I'm going to hunt one of those someday." And I was very fortunate to not only be able to harvest a mighty caribou, but I was also able to conquer this feat with two of my best friends, Brian and Devin. Before we could even start our hunt, we had to defeat what stops most hunters from achieving an Alaskan hunt, and that's the travel. After calling one another multiple times a day for the last month, August 1st finally rolled around the corner, and we were able to start our journey. The air travel wasn't too bad. I'd like to think we found ourselves pretty well prepared for the 14-hour trip between cribbage and Brian's Clash of Clans that he's been playing for at least 15 years. How long have you been on this game?
You don't want to know.
While on the flight from Charlotte to Seattle, I opened the windows just at the exact right moment as we were flying over the Montana Rockies, and being in those mountains before, then being able to see them from way up top like that, it gives you a whole different perspective. It was magnificent. But before you know it, in the blink of an eye, we were touching down in Alaska. Well, it's official. We are wings down in Fairbanks, Alaska, getting ready to kick off for our caribou hunt. This has been an absolute dream of mine since I was a kid to come up here and bow hunt a caribou, and dreams are happening, baby.
It's a long 14 to 15 hour flight to get here, but we're here and ready to rock and roll.
After about a 35-minute nap on the plane, I am not rested.
Give or take.
Yeah, we have a long trip up the haul road to catch up on some Z's. Hoping we don't have one of these guys sneak up behind us in the tent, but you never know. I feel like I could take one in a fight. Fair fight. An unfair fight, you would win, but in a fair fight, I think I could take him. So
I'm just gonna trip him and run.
Dude, what's up, buddy? What's up, man? I miss you so much.
Well, welcome to Alaska.
at this point, the only thing stopping us from hunting caribou was the seemingly endless 414-mile stretch of the Dalton Highway that crosses the Yukon River and doesn't end until you hit the Arctic Ocean.
Dozen sausage, egg and cheese McMuffins, please.
It's August 3rd, and we are officially on our way to the caribou hunt. We touched down in Alaska on the 1st at 11:30 at night. We slept probably 3 hours, and then we were back up in the morning, just getting packed up around the house. Devin had to go to work, military man, for your service. Like if you support the United States Army. If you don't, you're probably a communist. So once Debbie got out of work, we packed up the rest of our gear, got a couple hours to seize, and we are now on the road heading up final destination where hopefully we'll be able to stack some caribou. Punch buggy.
There's no punch buggies out here. We're in the middle of the dang Dalton Highway.
No, we're at the beginning of the Dayton Dalton.
Beginning of the Dalton Highway.
Yes, we're the beginning of the Dalton Highway.
We're not at the beginning of the Dalton Highway.
We're not even on the Dalton Highway.
We're getting there.
Almost getting to the Dalton Highway.
They'll know because there'll be a big ass sign that says "Welcome to the Dalton Highway."
I wish we had better company.
Yeah, can we send Brian home? Fun fact about the Dalton Highway, it's actually where seasons 3 through 6 of Ice Road Truckers was filmed. If you've never seen Ice Road Truckers, all they do is talk about how dangerous of a road that is. And that's where we were driving. So that's pretty cool. While we were driving the Dalton Highway, we saw everything from hot rods to 18-wheelers to gigantic pieces of drilling equipment used in the oil rigs. If you are planning this trip, drivers of this road need to take caution. It was hands down the worst driving conditions of a road I've ever traveled on in my entire life. And if you go down, you're stranded with no service for hundreds of miles, nothing between you and civilization other than Alaska wilderness. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be taking these travels, be prepared for something to go wrong, because Murphy's Law, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong.
I don't think that Jack's gonna be tall enough for right here.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, we're gonna see. We put a double plug in her. It was a pretty big slice. We got about 45 minutes on our way up to Dead Horse, and we passed through some shale, and I jinxed us. We got a flat.
He kept saying, I hope we don't get a flat.
Like 8 times. 8 times.
And then we saw a coyote, and it was a sign. Bad news bears, brother. But here we are. It's what, 8 a.m.? Maybe?
Nope, 7.
7 a.m.?
Flat.
We're crushing it. We got tire pressure back up to 34 pounds, 35 pounds. We're hoping she holds so we don't have to turn around.
Just crossed the Adigan Pass, and Brian spotted a cow about a mile and a half off the road. First caribou of the trip we've seen. Couldn't get it on camera though. It was a little far and the wind made it a little difficult to focus on it, but we're in them.
Just a poke out, but we got him, baby. We're on him. Day 1, let's go.
It's only a matter of time.
Never having been to Alaska, I was really surprised by how barren the North Slope was. I've watched videos of hunts up there, but it's actually hard to imagine Alaska actually being so empty until you see it in person. For 5 miles on either side of the Dalton Highway, it's considered the 5-mile corridor, and it's archery only. To hunt with a firearm, you actually have to hike outside that 5 miles. And for those of you who've never hiked on muskeg, muskeg is like walking on basketballs that are on a waterbed. And 5 miles feels like 40 miles. Not to mention, you're pretty much always just in standing water. It's quite miserable, but doable, but very miserable. So be prepared for that. And if you think you're in good shape, get in better shape. Well, we made it to our final destination. It may have taken 15 hours of driving, but we got it taken care of. For those of you that are gonna make fun of me for my head net, well, if you saw the dinosaur-sized mosquitoes and the number of them, you would have them too. And big knife doesn't help against mosquitoes, so head net will do. But we're here, we got the boat packed up, we just gotta lug it down to the water, and we're gonna cruise across this river and hopefully find some caribou. We saw 4 on the way over here, 2 calves, a cow, and a nice big bull that a couple hunters were putting a stock on. So let's see if we can't get it done. We're gonna skip across here and see if we can't make it to our destination, set up camp, and start officially hunting in the morning.
We need to leave.
So the boat was a great idea, but it didn't work, so I guess it turned out to be a bad idea. Very tippy because there is a ton of current and the water's super cold. And we started going and said, probably not worth dying unless we're getting eaten by a grizzly bear. So water's not a grizzly bear.
But we're gonna figure it out.
That's right.
Adventure awaits, baby. We're gonna find some caribou. Well, it's about 12:30 at night. Our original plan of taking a boat up the river didn't quite work out. So we had dinner, reassessed. We glassed and found a couple of caribou out in the distance, but they're just a little too far to get to. So decided to make a move. We're packing up all of our gear, a little bit lighter than we were anticipating initially. We're trekking out to that mountain out in the distance. It's just about 2.5 miles out. We're gonna set up camp and see what we can get into.
Wow, does that mountain keep moving?
Is it raining?
No, Brian.
I gotta go move that.
We hunted really, really hard for that first week of the trip.
Hey, where's your dad? Hey, where's your dad?
How about your grandfather?
Yeah, can you help us out?
I'd love to meet him.
We probably saw 30 caribou in total. All of them were cows and calves. and in groups of ones or twos. We kept calling them onesies and twosies. Caribou are a herd animal, and we just have to find that herd. Once we found the herd, we were going to be okay, but we had to find it. And every time we thought we saw a herd of caribou, we'd get really excited. We'd stop, pull out all of our spotting scopes and binoculars and glass that we had, and we would check it out. And almost every single time, it ended up being a group of muskox munching on grass. And needless to say, we got really, really sick of seeing muskox. Eventually, we spotted a young bull, and it was on.
I did spot a caribou. It's too far away, even with a spotting scope, to tell if it's a bull or cow. But I mean, at this point, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I just sounded to poop or get out the pot, you know. Either I'm gonna get out there and it's gonna be something that I can shoot, or it's not. So I'm gonna go out there, give it a shot. At least got to get closer to look to see if it's worth it. But we'll fill you in as we go. Caribou fur. We're onto him.
Down, baby.
Yes! Unfortunately, the mosquito population seems to be in the bazillion trillions, and they are the size of the mosquitoes in Jumanji. So we weren't really able to enjoy the harvest in the fields. We ended up getting out of there as fast as we possibly could. But nonetheless, we definitely enjoyed a nice hot meal.
Nice to meet you. Little caribou arm. One more time. Yeah.
Never in my entire life did I imagine experiencing this in Alaska, but we had a tropical Alaskan vacation. We were all down in our skivvies catching tans with our feet soaking in the river. It was an Alaskan beach day. Let's go. Chilling out here in the river, soaking the dogs. We got our caribou meat sealed off in a trash bag so the water doesn't get to it, but cold water will keep the meat cool today. That's the plan. Right now, Brian's trekking across about a mile across this river system, and we saw a couple caribou on the other side. He's gonna see if it's worth us going over there to go after them, because if we are, we're gonna have to shoulder and paddle the boat to and from all these little channels. The river's about 1.5 miles across, so he's gonna try to go a mile and spot to see if it's a bull or a cow. We just can't tell with the spotting scope from here. So yeah, we're gonna chill out and catch some tans up here in Alaska while we wait.
We're out here on the Sag River scouting for booze. Hunter and I just came across this unidentified species. We're not really sure what it is, but it's pretty terrifying. Take a look.
We did learn that things happen very quickly on a caribou hunt. 1 second you could be drooling in your sleep, and the next you wake up in the middle of your dream hunt and you are stalking a caribou with your bow.
We spotted what looks like a nice young bull. So we're making moves on it. Brian's armed with the bow. Let's go, buddy. Let's punch that tag. We're out here tracking a big bull in the riverbed. We got a gnarly storm coming in. Oh, but that might keep us fast.
65. That's right. Oh, no. Hold on. He's at 70. He's at 76.
Can I stand?
Yes. Did you see where that went?
Yeah, just behind him.
All right, we have to get one of those arrows. No, 40 yards, Brian. 40 yards. He's gonna die right there.
It looked like he did.
He's gonna die right there. Brian, you just killed a caribou, buddy. You just killed a nice bull.
Let's go.
You just killed a nice bull. Come here.
Started walking down the far side of the rocks, right? So I stand on the other side of the rocks to push him in the woods.
Dude, you did it. That's what did it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm standing there and I hear, I was like, that's when I started calling you. I was like, did you just shoot him?
Well, I shot him once. So we army crawled across this bank over here to get to the riverside. Took one shot at about 75 yards, and I was about 2 feet behind him. Sprinted across the embankment. When he was up, we started booking it to get across. Took second shot, got him. Took a third shot and got him in the
nose.
nose.
Jeez.
Gave the guy a damn nose piercing.
And then took one more shot and missed.
Yeah, took one more shot and missed. And then
Quiver was empty.
yeah, quiver was empty. Called in the troops, found some arrows, and then just put them down. About 40 yards.
Dude.
Go get the backpacks.
I feel like you both just played me big time.
No.
Never in a million years I think I'd be up in Alaska with two of my best friends, harvesting such a beautiful animal. So grateful to not only them, but powers that be to provide an opportunity. It's just such a beautiful experience in a beautiful part of our country that a lot of people don't get to explore, and super grateful. Can't say it enough. Excited to be able to harvest this baby and get him home and provide some food for the fam.
I'm probably super pumped to shoot a bigger bull than me.
I wasn't gonna say it.
But you mean it.
And even more so, I say grateful. I came on this trip with a rifle, anticipating, hiking out of the 5-mile corridor, and Hunter gracefully let me borrow his bow after he harvested a bull earlier this week.
Of much less quality.
A bull that was a lot smaller, and I just couldn't done it without him, and Devin, for driving us up here and being a part of it all. Dad?
Yeah.
Hey, I just shot a massive bull.
No way.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I say massive, not massive. It's like a 2 or 3 year bull.
Oh, that's still big. That's good.
Friggin' awesome.
Hey, you were the first person he wanted to call and tell.
Awesome.
I'm telling you right now, he didn't want to call anyone else other than his dad.
It's pretty sweet.
I love it. Oh, you're damn right it is.
So now we gotta do all the fun work.
Bottom.
Oh yeah.
After shooting the only 2 bull caribou that we saw, it seemed the trip had come to an end a week early. Devin had to check into work, and we began our long drive back down the Dalton Highway. Then all of a sudden we found him. We came across the herd. I'm talking hundreds of caribou, every direction you looked, anywhere from huge all the way to tiny. And I I didn't have any more arrows. We shot all the arrows and all the broadheads and was down to nothing but judo points. And you can't kill a caribou with a judo point. So we were all out of luck, and we had to drive through the entire herd and just look at them out the window. I was pretty frustrated and tired and hungry, so I didn't record any of the masses of caribou while we're going through there. But we were quite worked up. We made the bold decision to drive the 12 hours back to Fairbanks, buy a second caribou tag, rent a vehicle, and buy new broadheads. Now, I shoot Q80 Exodus, and Sportsman's Warehouse has every possible broadhead you could imagine, except for Q80 Exodus. So I ended up grabbing a pack of Montec G5s that were the same weight. We did not have a target to shoot the broadheads at, so I made what ended up being a poor decision, and assuming that they would probably shoot similar to the Q80s. As soon as we got our gear sorted and Devin dropped off, we turned around and drove straight back up. Well, 26 hours later, we found ourselves right back where we started. We weren't up there long before we were back into them, the herd.
There's a herd of about 40 caribou with 2 really big bulls. I'm making my way across the tundra to try to cut them off in the front. Hopefully I can. We'll see what happens. A group of 2 cows and a calf are running towards me right now over the knoll, watching me carry my bull like this. They think I'm a caribou. It's pretty cool. It'd be really cool if there's a big bull with them, but just 2 cows and a calf. But they're coming right in. I'm not too scared about spooking them because I'm not after those. So I'm just gonna keep on walking. Maybe if they'll get real close, you'll get to see them from up close. But this is cool. Those couple young bulls see me walking with my bow like this, and they think I'm another caribou, so they're running over to me. But they're not the monsters that I saw out there that I'm stalking. I'll have to see how I feel if it gets within range, but I'm not going after those 2.
Finally, the moment I've been waiting for, I have my dream caribou standing in front of me at 60 yards, and I shot 6 to 8 inches over its back. I couldn't understand it. I know 60 yards is a long shot, but I've been training shooting 100 yards plus for years now. So when you shoot that far, 60 yards doesn't feel like really much of anything. It feels like a chip shot. But for those people who are paying attention, I'm sure you've already caught on to what I'm getting at here. Going back to that poor decision I ended up making back in Fairbanks. As the caribou was trotting off, I did what I swore I wouldn't do. And I've out loud made fun of every single whitetail hunter who's been on an Alaskan caribou hunt that I've heard give them the old mat to try to stop a moving caribou, because obviously they're caribou and they don't make that noise. But in the stress of my dream running away, I did exactly that, and I gave it the old mat. So feel free to make fun of me for that. I deserve it. I wouldn't recommend doing it though. They don't care about the mat. I remember the previous caribou that I had seen, thinking that I was one of them by how I was holding my bow. And I ended up using this strategy, holding my bow over my head while I walked. And it helped me get within 60 yards of the caribou again and again and again. I was fortunate enough to be able to get a second shot at this caribou and a third shot at this caribou. And both my second and third shot were both 6 to 8 inches over its back. It was at this moment when I realized that I'm consistently shooting 6 to 8 inches over its back. It's because I was shooting Montec G5s, not Q80 Exodus. And the G5s were shooting 18-ish inches high at 60 yards compared to my Q80s. I finally got up to 60 yards, and at this point, I only had one arrow left, and I felt the pressure. I had to make this last shot, or my dream of killing a big caribou with my bow would perish. Calm myself down. I drew back, and I took aim right at the heart of that caribou. Then I remembered, and I dropped my pin about 18 inches low, and I let her rip.
I just shot this caribou. Oh, baby. Oh, holy shit! Oh my gosh, I just shot that caribou. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes! 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 I just shot a giant caribou. I have one arrow left. And I just hard shot him. He's down. He's so big. Oh my gosh. He's so big. Yes! He's so big. Wow. I just shot an absolute giant. This is my dream. This is my dream. Oh my gosh. We did it. Oh, I can't wait to show you. Ah! Look at this caribou. Oh my gosh. He's awesome. Look at this thing. Wow. Oh my gosh. I did it. 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 Oh my gosh. Well, this is my dream. This is for all of you watching saying I'm being a wuss. This is my dream. Since I was a kid. Since I was a child. My dream is to come up here and hunt a caribou in Alaska with my bow. And I did it. I did it. I can't wait to call my dad and tell him. I can't wait to go home and see my son. Someday when he hears the dream, let him know that he can do it. just like his old man did. I can't wait to show my son this. He's gonna call it a deer. He's not wrong. It's a reindeer. But I can't wait to show it to him. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. Jack, someday you're gonna watch this and you're gonna understand. I did it. You can too, son. I'll make sure you do it. Any dream you have, I'm gonna do everything in my power to help you achieve it. I promise you. You can do it. You can do it. Because fortune favors the bold, my son. And you will be bold.